Hey, soul survivors. So, why won't the narcissist apologize? Now, remember, this is a shame-based personality disorder where they are striving to keep themselves in this image of perfection. They create in the beginning with the love bombing stage this beautiful fantasy, and they want to be adored. They want to be seen as the top. So over time, their mask starts to fall. They do certain things that are either uncomfortable for you or outright going against the commitment of the relationship. And when you bring it up to them, they don't want to admit they're wrong. They also don't want to see your perspective. But as far as not seeing, wanting to admit that they're wrong, because there are times, whether they cheated or they stole from you or all these kind of things, that they keep up that mask and they don't want you to see any more of the truth behind them. So if you call them out on something, they want to shut that out at all costs. So even when you have evidence, they will deny it, even when it's hard, cold evidence, or they will try to deflect. They will turn it around on you. They will give you word salad trying to confuse you or get you off topic to where you're apologizing for bringing it even up to them. And a lot of times the situation isn't even resolved. They don't want to take accountability because once they do that, one, it admits that they were wrong. Number two, they have to work through it or deal with the shame that this brings forth. So if you think about a criminal might not want to admit they did something because there are repercussions. So the narcissist, it's almost like a subconscious thing where they're like, if I admit to this, then I'm going to have repercussions. So they have this survival method of kind of like shutting it out, pretending it that this is this like perfect world where they just hide behind something and things just go away. That's why a lot of times they'll come back after a disagreement or an argument and they come back like nothing's wrong. Sometimes they don't see it as a big deal. Other times I think they just need to let you cool off. Sometimes too, that's why you will get the silent treatment because they will give you time to shut up. And that's in their mind that they think it's whatever, you'll just work through it. And then we'll just get back to being normal. And they don't understand that, well, some of them understand some of the depth of the damage. There are times that they don't have the same uh view on what relationships should be like because of the stuff that they have gone through. So, name calling might have been something normal in their past, so they'll call you names and not think it's a big deal. There are times in relationships that you go through an adjustment period of this is who I am, this is what makes me feel comfortable, and this is who I am, this is what makes me feel comfortable. And you work through those things, but the narcissist will weaponize those things against you. So when they start feeling like they're losing control, they will pull from that bucket of your expressing your feelings and your vulnerabilities to where you should be able to trust them to respect you, but instead it is weaponized against you. So, will they take accountability every now and then? Will they give you apologies? They can give you apologies, but do they really mean it? Sometimes it's just to appease you and to quiet you. So that's where the future faking comes in, where they're going to say that they'll change or they'll work on things or they won't do it again. They appease people. They want to get past the uncomfort as quickly as possible. That's not taking accountability. That's not feeling remorse or compassion for the other person. It's internalized within them. They're focused on themselves, how not to feel the uncomfort, how not to feel the shame, not to admit that they are not perfect. We're all human. A lot of these problems could be worked through. But the narcissist, it exacerbates the situation when you're like, please don't say that. And then they turn it around and make it even worse. And then you try to work through it. And it's a never ending cycle. And it starts to drive you crazy because they don't follow through on their promises. They keep repeating the same patterns. They don't try to grow, they try to hide. And when things start getting tense, That's when they can be aggressive towards you. They can discard you, give you the silent treatment. It's like more abuse. They do something wrong to you. And instead of taking accountability, having compassion for how they hurt you, that they will abuse you more. And you deserve somebody who at least takes your thoughts and feelings into consideration. We have to be whole within ourselves to where, we can do some self-regulation. But when the other person sometimes is purposely hurting us or doing activities that we mention hurt us, because I've mentioned before where when I was growing up, everybody liked a little tiny butt. I had a big butt. And then they came out with a PHAT where it's like you got a fat butt, and it was supposed to be a compliment, but it was uncomfortable to me. So sometimes, in certain conversations, it's meant to be a compliment, but it's taken the wrong way. So through communication, you guys find your comfort zone. But the narcissist will use those things against you. They will purposely try to hurt you, to disarm you, to confuse you, to get you so upset, maybe you'll walk off, or to escalate the argument to where they're like, fine, then I'm just going to leave so they don't have to deal with it. So it will start to trigger your abandonment issues. Some of us didn't have it, but all of a sudden now we're being abandoned and it's over and over again. So you start to have anxiety, abandonment issues, trust issues. To where we don't even trust ourselves because we start questioning, am I wrong for thinking this? And is this reality, or should I trust them? And it's vicious on just wanting an apology, just wanting to say, hey, I'm sorry, and to truly mean it. But the narcissist is more concerned about their image or doing what they're going to do. So they might apologize to appease you, but they'll continue doing what they were doing. They'll hide it, or they might stop for a little while. But if they're changing for you and not themselves, it's not going to stick. There's such a higher likelihood of whatever it is, whoever you are, that if you change something, let's say you're a smoker, and you want to change for yourself, for your health, you have a higher probability of success than changing because your husband doesn't want you to smoke. Eventually, maybe you will quit, but it'll be longer. You might be tempted more. You might hide it for a while because it's not something that you're committed to. So is a narcissist committed to change? They're just committed to appease. And they're committed to themselves. That's why it's so easy for them to discard people, because they're not committed to the other people. So I hope that was helpful, but the narcissist, they might say the words, I'm sorry. They will usually justify why they did what they did, and it turns it around on them, or they'll start attacking you for something you did 2, 3, 4 years ago, where they're trying to change the subject so they don't have to deal with what's at hand. So if they do this to you, stay firm on the topic. It's real hard to do with a narcissist, but don't allow them to manipulate you away from the situation, because you deserve an apology.